A convenience store light is cutting through the haze. Footsteps echoing in this quiet maze. The air is biting, a little sharp on my skin. But next to you, I don't know where the seasons begin. Flickering streetlight shadows getting long. This unspoken rhythm, it's where we belong. No need to rush it, the road is too wide, and the night is staying right by our side. The dawn is bleeding into deep indigo between you and me. The sweet tension flows, brushing hands a little awkward, a little shy. Clumsy truths pouring down from the sky. Doesn't have to be perfect, just this mood is enough. Yeah, we're gold in the rough. Sleepy cat watching from the garden wall. First bus engine, a distant low call. Thought growing up would be a great dull ride, but it's a masterpiece with you by my side. Stop for a second, looking at the blue. Yesterday's worries, they're washing out too. Are you tired yet? You ask with a smile. I just shake my head, let's stay for a while. The dawn is bleeding into deep indigo. It's made you and me. The sweet tension flows, washing hands a little awkward, a little shy. Clumsy truths pouring down from the sky. Does it have to be perfect? Just this mood is enough. Yeah, we're gold in the rough. Indigo fading, the morning's inside. Adding one more secret to the fading light. Walking slow into the break of day. Wish this alley would never fade
Yellow shards resting on the edge of a horizon tilted by the tide. Words are held behind by bated breath, while the scent of midnight starts to glide. Shoulders touching, yet a world apart, in a distance that is hard to define. In this silence, heavy like a heart, our eyes are walking on the silver line. Tighten fist inside my pockets now, holding on to warmth I can't release. When the breeze sweeps soft across your brow, I feel a secret tremor, a strange peace. Tracing circles on the rippling blue, a scenery that lingers, never fades. Into the ink that's spilled in every hue, we'll end our seasons to the velvet shades. As the deep azure laps against our feet, unspoken lines turn into gentle waves, sing beneath my worn-out soul, kicked away to hide within the foam. The pale glow on your face taking its toll, tasting like sugar in a crystal dome. All the truths we couldn't quite refine, colliding in the air, prisms light. We hold our breath and let the shadows twine, matching silhouettes against the night. Is this what they call growing up? Pushing what we feel beneath the deep. But let it be heavy, let it fill the cup. Even the stillness is a song we keep, tracing circles on our riverbank blue. The scenery that lingers never fades into the ink that spills in our ray hue. We lend our seasons to the velvet shoe, fluctuating shapes, 1,000 dots pulled in the dark, a little cold yet cozy in escapes, crossing through the night, leaving us part, just watching as the laughter softly dies. Soft white mist is drifting round our feet. The night descends, washing away our steps. No need to ask where these shadows lead. Just the rhythm of our walk is all I need. A playful nudge, a joke that's worn and thin. We break into a laugh, letting the night in, as the deep emerald dark wraps us in its hold. Our own little universe begins to unfold in this indigo forest, lost in the haze. We're fine with wandering through the maze, sweet whispers hidden in the humid air. Every breath we take, youth is lingering there. More than the city lights flickering so far, the warmth of your shoulder is my North Star. A bit unpolished, yet we're perfectly in bloom. Just staying right here in this silver gloom. Sometimes the fog felt like a wall we couldn't climb, like a blurred tomorrow frozen in time. But you just brushed the silver branches aside. Let's take it slow, you said, with nowhere to hide. A piece of moonlight falls on a rain-soaked leaf. Our clumsy silence brings a strange relief. Why does this ordinary night feel so gold? Maybe it's because of the stories untold with you. In this indigo forest, lost in the haze, we're fine with wandering through the maze. Sweet whispers hidden in the humid air. Every breath we take, youth is lingering there. More than the city lights flickering so far, the warmth of your shoulder is my North Star. A bit unpolished, yet we're perfectly in bloom. Just staying right here in this silver gloom. When the sun arrives and the mist starts to fade, this forest might turn into a dream we once made. But the scent of this air and the sound of your grace will be carved in my heart in a sacred space. The fog grows thicker simply you. That's all we need. Streetlights bleeding into the stream, lengthening shadows and fading to gray. Deep in my pockets, just some worn out scraps and fingertips cold from the edge of the day. The silence deepens as I pick my words, only the sound of my low, steady breath. Beneath the surface, do they sink to the bottom? The sentences we never dared to say. Those flickering lights, just out of reach, they shatter to pieces the moment I touch. Like wearing a coat, heavy with the night. Maybe it's okay to walk a little slow, as long as this river keeps on its flow. Across the water, the city goes dim. The ripples are becoming clearer than ever, between where we stayed and where we're headed. We're just staring at the edge of each other's shadows in the drift of the cold morning air. A faint after image lingers for a while, too quiet to call it a heartache, too vivid to ever let it go. Those flickering lights, just out of reach, they shatter to pieces the moment I touch. Like wearing a coat, heavy with the night. Maybe it's okay to walk a little slow, as long as this river keeps on its flow. When the blue light bleeds through the black, we'll stand up and brush off the dust, as if nothing ever happened. A sea of lights beneath my feet. The world is quiet from up here. Fading lines in the city heat. I'm losing myself, it's getting clear. Hidden behind the neon glow, repeating words I used to know. Taking a breath, I let it go. Small fragments of the city far away. A lonely shadow is here to stay. Unspoken thoughts, they drift away. Am I fading into these flickering lights, following the quiet trails of the night, holding the silence deep inside my heart? Is someone out there just taking it in? Just keeping it all in the way I do.
Tiny lives moving in a row, red tail lights with nowhere to go. Time is slipping, moving slow. The edge of today starts to fade, chasing down memories choices I once made. Inhaling the cold air, I'm unfazed.
When the darkness covers the ground, tiny windows without a sound. I don't need the warmth from inside. In this silence I got nothing to hide. Can you hear my silent heart? Am I fading into this flickering lights, following the quiet trails of the night, holding the silence deep inside my heart? Is someone out there just taking it in? Just keeping it all in the way I do.
Swallowing it all again and again.
Leftover pieces of the night remain. City lights fade away before I walk back into the noise of the Chin resting on the windowsill, leaning into the steady hum and sway. Scenery outside, a blur of motion, just a long line fading into the gray. In the dark glass, a reflection of me, looking a bit strange, yet somehow so free. Over the trails of flickering lights, I reach out and touch the cold pain, drawing a few lines without a name, stopping my heart right there, just in time. Maybe our youth is like this night train running forward, though the destination's unknown. Pressing my forehead against the cool glass, I find your warmth, the dream I've outgrown, like the streetlights drifting further away. I guess we're becoming adults day by day. The steady breath of a stranger nearby, a low bass line humming through my ears. The city lights sparkle so cold and bright, but my heart is hazy with thoughts of the years. Even if I forget the names of the stations, I still remember our damp old conversations. The tunnel slows down the flow of time. My eyes in the shadow, they ask me so low, are you happy right now? Do you know? Instead of an answer, I just watch the lights go. Maybe our youth is like this night train running forward, though the destination's unknown. Pressing my forehead against the cool glass, I find your warmth, the dream I've outgrown, like the streetlights drifting further away. I guess we're becoming adults day by day, until the blue dawn begins to break. I'll lean into this darkness for a while. No need to rush, just our own pace. Good night, my night. The edge of the tide, colder than I thought. Sand grains rub and a ripping friction in my shoes. This horizon's too wide, and I feel fidgeting with my thumbs in these deep pockets, breathing out alongside toward the edge of the world. Senses turn to white foam, dissolving into the void. Surface of the water, like ink spilled on the night. Unnamed sparks scatter like diamonds in the dark. Reaching out my hand, but they drift just out of sight. Is it someone's dream, or the ashes of yesterday? Words I tried to swallow were caught in my throat, hiding my voice behind the roar of the crashing waves. Deep indigo curtains drawn over this hour, just cold enough and heavy enough to hold. A salty breeze lingering on the tip of my lips, humming a melody only I can truly hear. Like filling a glass with the pouring Milky Way, I'm taking a slow sip of this midnight air. The taste on my tongue, a little sharp and stinging, but the aftertaste is strangely soft, you know. Stepping into the ripples that break at my feet, I'm taking a piece of the comfort the darkness brings. The city's polished noise can't reach me here, just the steady pulse of my breath, my own rhythm. Stopping the clock hands, if only for a moment, embracing the warmth that's still left in my palms. A silhouette that doesn't have to be perfect, just letting myself drift where the current goes. The midnight sea is a mirror so clear, reflecting the shadows I tried so hard to hide. But if it's all a mirage that fades with the dawn, then for now I'll let myself sink a little deeper, emptying my heart so it can be filled again. Like filling a glass with the pouring Milky Way, I'm taking a slow sip of this midnight air. The taste on my tongue, a little sharp and stinging, but the aftertaste is strangely soft, you know. Stepping into the ripples that break at my feet, I'm taking a piece of the comfort the darkness brings. A lonely street lamp glowing on the horizon line, as if it knows everything I haven't said. The waves roll back in over and over, and I take a breath that's finally a little stronger.
Beneath the reach of the distant streetlights, where the dry grass posts head low, sitting on a frayed edge of a memory, where even the rustle of leaves feels out of place. Whenever the low hum of a breeze carves a path, I find no answers ready on my lips, so I just pull my knees a little closer. Faint lights flickering at the edge of my sight. It wasn't words I had to swallow down. Maybe it was just the empty spaces this night left behind, as a thin sigh scatters into the air. decide to become a little more transparent, like sentences no one will ever read. At my fingertips, fiddling with the loose lace, the dust of withered emotions begins to settle. The shadow of a bent song left behind lies lying still, just like me. The silence I carefully chose lingers on my tongue before it falls, settling heavy near my heart. In a small corner of the park, the only thing awake while the world is asleep. We were waiting for something to happen. We were just learning how to endure the quiet until the first light of tomorrow spills over. We'll probably stay right here in this spot, as if nothing ever happened, until we're ready to look up again. Clear warmth bleeding into the shivering air, shaking off the dust from the tips of my worn out shoes. At the highest point where the world's noise fades away, we sit side by side, shoulders leaning in close. The city lights flicker like a shallow ocean floor, a piece of the galaxy within our reach. Even without a single word spoken aloud, the warmth between us tells the whole story. Even with eyes closed, the afterglow remains a nameless ripple rising deep within my chest. All the clumsy yesterdays and the hazy tomorrows, they melt away into the sparkles of right now. We're writing the brightest lines of this night. Gentle heat escaping through slightly chapped lips as our gaze lingers over the silence we've grown to know. Above the laughter caught on a casual joke, our today is spreading like deep blue ink. Raw hearts that haven't been polished or refined, comfort given through a look, not a phrase. Even a biting wind feels soft against the skin. I wish this crack in midnight would last forever. Even with eyes closed, the afterglow remains a nameless ripple rising deep within my chest. All the clumsy yesterdays and the hazy tomorrows, they melt away into the sparkles of right now. We're writing the brightest minds of this night. Time may blur the edges of the scenery, but the crisp, cool air that brushed our skin and the promise in the countless lights we watched together, will keep them tucked away in the deepest part of our hearts. The lights below are fading out one by one, but the sky above us is still shining bright. Let's walk down this path just a little slower, so we won't forget, even under tomorrow's sun.
losing its pace. Blue streetlights bleeding into this hollow space. Behind the glass, a white silence starts to flow. We're sitting side by side, watching our shadows grow, washing away the stains of a weary day. Mist on the window hides what we wanna say. That awkward talk we had under the afternoon sun is rewinding in the wheel, one by one. A steady rhythm, a low and vibrant hum. My shoulder drifts to yours where I belong. The scent of soap is dancing in the air, drawing a line between us, a soft and silent prayer. Round and round in a never-ending arc, the warmth between us is glowing in the dark. The chilling breeze turns into a velvet cloud. In this tiny island, I'm glad we're lost and found. Our silhouettes reflected on the silver screen, hesitant fingertips, the space that lies between. Right when the world stops at the perfect beat, a sweet, sweet silence makes us feel complete. A piece of golden light dropped on the floor. The sound of rolling coins, a smile I can't ignore. Even the tiny wrinkles on your cotton sleeve read like a gentle poem I want to believe. Unspoken words are tangled in the foam, rising in white and finding their way home. But everything feels clearer just the way it is. We don't need a label for a night like this. The melody of the machine fades to a rest. The silence deepens. I hear the breath in your chest. The door swings open, a rush of soul warm air. Tender fibers holding the truth we finally share. wait, walking the quiet path before it gets too late, holding the fading warmth inside my palm. In this midnight magic, beautiful and calm.
The day was heavy, even a whisper felt like a chore. Came all this way with knots I couldn't untie before. Across the white lines, cutting through the velvet night. The scuff from my sneakers used the only rhythm inside. The towering lights were the suns of my own. My shadow stays close, breathing low and alone. As I swing away the lingering regrets from the wreck, the crushed night air hits my lungs and never looks back. Under the dazzling floodlight, we become so clear, pushing back the noise of the world, leaving it far from here. Faint memories drifting in the beads of my sweat, a page of youth's bittersweet and the best one, yeah. With a soft flood, I toss the ball and find my breath. A blue silence pours over the empty court, sending my wandering heart with every swing of a sport. Keep it simple, keep it clean, a blues with no lie, just me trying to beat the me from yesterday. By and by, wiping the sweat from my brow, I lift my eyes high to this moment shining brighter than the midnight sky. It's okay if no one sees, I've got my own belief, learning to conquer this sorrow with a refined relief. Under the dazzling floodlight, we become so clear, pushing back the noise of the world, leaving it far from here. Faint memories drifted in the beads of my sweat, a page of youth that is sweet and the best one, yeah. With a soft cut, I toss the ball and find my The lights fade out one by one, leaving the floor. But even in the dark, I don't feel the cold anymore. Tomorrow I'll step with a heart a little more light. Good night to my burning, beautiful night.
Streetlights grazing past my shoulder line, yellow dashes carving out the time. Roll the window down, let the cold rush in. Traces of the words I kept within. Dots of light descending from the height, where someone's start meets my end tonight. My leaden foot is hesitating on the floor. The blue light points me to a familiar door. Caught behind as unknown winds, the other home is near. An adult stride is shorter than it seems, choosing a steady beat over drifting dreams. That shimmering arc, a dream for someone new. I'm just the background music passing through, tucking the fading lights in the rearview mirror like a secret